YouTube is happening. It is Thursday, May 1st, and we're going to talk about baseball first today. We have 11 games on the slate. There's a few teams that are out there traveling. Thursday's a typical travel day, as you know. So we're going to break these games down, look at the sheet, look at the props, see if we can find some value. But first, let's do a little recap of yesterday like we always do. And we are on a fourth straight day in the green. We went 5-4 yesterday. Quantrill gave up 5.5 hits in the first inning. Seattle hit the money line. Let's see. Irvin went over 2.5 earned runs. Myers went under, even though he only pitched 2 innings. They took him out. Cool, because he just didn't look good. Let's see. The over didn't hit. Yankees didn't hit. White didn't hit. So that was a 4-3 day, not 5-4. 4-3 overall. So we will take that. That's profits all day long. So if you want the plays typed out for every sport I do or access to the spreadsheet so you can do your own research, go check out the HQ right there. Simple as that. And also, before we jump to the games, let's go ahead and just go straight over to the weather. Let's just go ahead and knock that out, shall we? Weather report. We're just gonna breeze through it so we can see what's happening out there in the world today. 9 miles an hour, a little bit of weather potential in Pittsburgh. Cincinnati, same situation. The gray areas when the game is, you can see when the game is supposed to happen. So this comes from Roto Grinders, so you can check it out yourself. 14 miles an hour blowing in. Oof, 9 miles blowing in, but no rain. 13 straight out in Cleveland, but rain galore. Man, it is a disgusting day for weather. Tampa, beautiful weather. I know this. It's going to be 90 degrees a day, basically. This is 86 ballpark, but here, 90. Hot. Love it. 17 blowing out in White Sox, but again, rain. Rangers in a dome. Philly blowing out to left with a slight chance of rain. Toronto's in a dome. Angels blowing straight out, but not much rain to worry about. It is a disgusting day for weather. That's what out of 11 is what 5 or 6 of our games have weather issues. We got to take that into consideration. So enough of that. We have 11 games. So let's go ahead and jump to that first game right now. All right, first game on the slate is going to be Cubs and Pirates at 12:35 Eastern. We can see Pittsburgh is 145 favorite at home with a 7.5 total. Look at the spreadsheet. We can see Chicago is doing pretty well with the bats overall. Pittsburgh's a little bit above average. They're not bad either. They're pretty good. Neither team strikes out too much. They're both in the middle of the pack. Chicago scores runs. Pittsburgh does not. So that's the only difference. So I would lean Chicago a little bit just from the bats over here. We got to look at who's pitching today. We go over to the player props, and it is a Skeens day. Paul Skeens is pitching for Pittsburgh. Colin Ray is pitching for Chicago. So let's look at this. What stands out? Ray over strikeouts has hit in 4 out of 5 games. Now, Chicago is 8 strikeouts on the dot in the last 10 games. I don't really know if I would take that or not. That's 14th. His number's 4.5. We'll take a look at it, though. And then we'll always look at Skeens because everyone's going to look at Skeens. But I look for pitching outs on Skeens, which he is not. Are we not getting pitching outs for him? Are we really not? Again, they're hiding the pitching outs from us. They know they don't want us to hit. Because look, this man had. Oh, this is strikeouts. Okay. Yeah, nope. Yeah. Shameful. You had 5-5-5, 5-5-5. Damn. 7 against them. All right. Yeah, no, let's go to matchups. Let's see who does better. Skeens versus Chicago. How we doing? Nico has a home run with a 400 of average, 333s. We got some ones, 1 for 9, 2 for 9. Not much success there against righties. You see how Cubs have been doing this year. 410, 319, a bunch of high 2s. And that's about it. We go to Pittsburgh side, we flip over and we see them versus righties. We got a 300, and that's it. Everybody else is in the actually mid 2s. Ooh, a couple higher 2s, but everybody, nothing good there against Ray. Ooh, look at this information. Look at that's a lot of data. Reynolds has a home run in 12 at bats with a 583 average. That's the stuff we want to find right here. 1.5 OPS. So Reynolds going against Colin Ray, that is what we want to see. That's the good stuff. Let's go over here to the bats and go ahead and set this up. Reynolds, where is you, good sir? Show yourself so we can go and pull you out. How far down I gotta find you? Are you playing that bad? You might be. You just might be. Ugh. Yeah, no, you're doing great, but I mean, you did something last time, but well, the Dodgers shut you down. You don't do well against the Dodgers, huh? But now you're back home, so maybe be a play. I might still take it. Skeens strikeouts, he's 6.5. He's averaging 6.7 this season. He's only averaging 6.5. It's exactly 6.5. Man, Cleveland doesn't strike out much. Washington doesn't strike out much. Tampa, not against the Dodgers. Buddy. I don't like either side of here. I don't like Pittsburgh to win as a money line. I don't like the Cubs because of Ray versus that. I'm gonna roll the dice. I'm gonna go with Brian Reynolds. We saw the numbers. We see 12 at bats is enough data to really be able to determine. And now we're seeing a 583 with 1.5 OPS. I like that. I can roll with that. 12 is a good amount of data. We're going to take Reynolds here on the HRR 1.5 at -130. That's our play next. Our game 2 is going to be St. Louis and Cincinnati. And I told you yesterday, weird things happen in doubleheaders. And what happened? Cincy was the hottest offense in the league easily. You saw all the ones yesterday. Guess what? They scored 0 and 1 runs in the doubleheader. That's how doubleheaders work. Crazy things tend to happen. So today we have Cincinnati 120. 8.5 is our total. We go to the spreadsheet. Look what that did. They're no longer ones. Nowhere except for steals. But they took a tumble a little bit because that's what happens when you don't play well for 2 games. Man, doubleheaders are crazy. St. Louis above average. Cincy still great numbers, but yeah, you saw it yesterday. So streaks are where they at. Let's look over at the actual props. Who do we have in this game? Let's load it up and go boop, boop. And we see is Andrew Abbott versus Liberatore. Abbott over 4.5 hits allowed is hit in 8 of the last 10 games, which is concerning for him, I'm sure. Going up against St. Louis, who was average, maybe a little bit above average on hitting, 18th in batting average, 18th in hits. I don't know. We'll take a look at it. Nothing for Liberatore, though. Nothing at all. So what? Okay, you were bad last year, but then so far this year, you've been decent, and then Colorado got you for 5 hits. Okay, yeah, I don't know if St. Louis is... Yeah, Pittsburgh, you shut down these two. Pittsburgh's been doing a decent start of the season. Baltimore's not been good this season, so that's not impressive. You give a 5 to Colorado, but it is Coors. Let's go to matchup. Let's look. History. Abbott versus Cardinals. 462 and 13 at bats. Things like this is what we like. A 1.4 OPS. 13 at bats is plenty of data. Anything like over 8, like more than 2 games worth, we're good. So yeah, Nolan's a good contender for sure. Contreras 605 with only a home run with a 1.9. That's cool, but a lot of zeros. There's a lot of zeros on here. Everybody else looks like they're struggling. Against lefties, how we doing? 308 for Nolan. That might... Okay, Nolan's going to go on the list. Nolan, where are you, good sir? Let me find Nolan. We got to find him. He's going to be somebody we're going to look at for a bat as well. Go ahead and pull him up before I forget, because I'll forget. It happens. How far down I got to find you? Okay, that is ridiculous. All right, do it this way. Fine. There we go, man. You are not doing too well in your last 10. You either do good or bad. Like every other game, you pop off or you get popped. So it means in the trend, it's your time. Okay, cool. I might ride with that. Sure. Let's go to the other side. Cincy, what we got against lefties? How does Cincy do against lefties? 300, 2, 1, 2, 3. Not bad. 500, 125. Against Liberatore, anything good? Nothing, not much data to work with here. So I don't like either side. I don't want to... I can't take Cincy when they just beat down 2 games in a doubleheader yesterday. I don't like St. Louis's because same situation, because Cincy's been good up until yesterday. I'm not taking this Abbott hit prop. He looks pretty good here. Yeah, that's Coors Field cool. I'm not touching the other pitcher. If I were to take anything, it would be this, and I think I'm going to. We're gonna trust. We're gonna trust the history on these 2 games. So RAREN Ado over 1.5 HR. Yeah, we're going to historical bat plays versus pitcher matchup. We're gonna see how that works. We're gonna take that and move on to the next one. Our game 3 is gonna be Arizona and the Mets. And we come down here and we can see is Mets 167.5 is our total. Let's look at the sheet. We see the data. Arizona won their last game, or lost the last game. You can see who's doing good and who's not. So there you go. Both teams top 10 strikeouts. Nothing standing out so far. Ugh, disgusting. Let's go look at the pitchers, shall we? Let's see, get rid of you, open you up to the Mets, boom, boom. Zach Gallen versus Senga, okay? And look at all this orange, and man, mustard and ketchup galore. There's no green here, nothing for us. So we're not gonna take any pitcher props here. So far, all we have is a lean to New York on the bats. So let's look at the history and everything. Arizona struggles against this dude in the very few times they faced him. They've owned him. No, he has owned them. Yeah, here we go. So literally 1 hit there, 1 hit there, 1 hit there, and that's it. Against righties, you can see how Arizona's been this season. Smith's been awesome, 346, 318. You can see they're good. We swapped to the Mets against righties, same situation. Most are high 2s. We got a couple Yeah, we got a couple threes on there. So right there against Gallin. Historically, anybody stand out for being amazing? No, the ones that do have a lot of bats are not that good. So that ain't good at all. All right. Yeah, this one I'm not touched. Well, wait. Mets have better offense. Arizona can't do anything against the pitcher. That leans the Mets. The Mets are at home. The Mets are favored. What's the weather in this one? This is come back. Follow me to the weather. Let's go back. Potential rain with Cincy. Potential rain here. Not much rain. There we go. I like that. Yeah, we're gonna go Mets Milan. We're gonna take Mets to win. They have the pitcher advantage. They have the batting advantage. They have the historical advantage. They got the home field advantage. 160 is cool. I'll take it. Next. All right, next up, KC in Tampa Bay. And we can see it is 160 Tampa at home with an 8 total spreadsheet. We see the numbers. Tampa forgot how to play offense a little bit. They're kind of struggling. KC is warming up. And I told you they would do that. They were down the bottom so long. All they're going to do is they're slowly going to start climbing. Now, do I expect them to be up to number 1? I mean, at some point they probably will. But, I mean, they could. Who knows? 8-2 last 10 is pretty impressive. So, yeah, they've been doing well. So number 1 in strikeouts, 19th. You got to lean KC here. Tampa has the home field, even though they have the home field. Kansas City has the bats, so 1 advantage each. Let's go to pitchers and see who we have for our pitches and see if we have any advantages here. We see it's Baz versus Lugo, and look at the green we can work with here. Okay, so Shane Baz pitching outs. I took this last time and it didn't hit. Not doing that again. Baz strikeouts is literally great, but it's going up against KC, who we literally just talked about how they are number 1 in the league in strikeouts in the last 10 games at only 6.2. Not a chance in hell I'm touching that. If anything, I would even go Baz under strikeouts because KC is only averaging 6 a game. Man, that's crazy. Lugo is also on pitching out, so yeah, we could potentially have a pitching duel here. So with these bats and everything, we could even potentially have a Nerfy. Just saying, we could. Because we look at I haven't done a Nerfy in a few days, but Tampa's not hit a Nerfy in the last 10 games. They've hit the Yerfy in 4 games. They've scored runs. Wow. Look at Kansas City is warming up. I'm a little scared, a little worried, but I might take a Nerfy for funsies. Let's dig a little deeper into this, shall we? To see if there's anything good. Because so far, all I have is a Nerfy. And that's not even like a full play. Baz, historically against KC, we have a 1 for 2 with a home run and a 1 for 3 with nothing. Against righties, KC, we have a 298, 254, 307. You can see the numbers there, 310. Swap size of Tampa against righties. Tampa's got some heavy hitters as well. We know this. There you go. Against Lugo, historically, not much data, not much at all. So I don't have anything I really would play in this one besides a Nerfy. Do we dare risk it for the Nerfy? Let's look at earned runs the last few games with these two. You've been amazing outside of your Yankees game where they teed off on you. Man, you've been good. You've been damn good. Let's look at your counterpart. Let's see how Mr. Lugo is doing. Lugo, how you doing, buddy? How you doing? You doing good? You shut Houston down before that 3-4. That was Yankees and Detroit. 2 teams are pretty hot offensively. We know Tampa's not hot offensively. It will be hot outside with the weather though, so that's concerning because the hotter it gets, the easier the home runs move. So, you know what? Let's roll. Let's do it. I ain't scared. We got 2 good pitching right now, so we're gonna take the Nerfy in this one and move on to the next game. All right, next we got Minnesota and Cleveland, and we're currently sitting on Cleveland. It's a pick'em, literally a pick'em with a 9 total. Let's look over the spreadsheet, see who has an advantage. Minnesota, clearly. Easy as day, you can see right there. So they have the advantage. Cleveland, even though they won the last 2 games, they're still struggling versus that. So Minnesota has a lean here. Cleveland has a lean for being at home. Let's go look at the pitchers, see what we got. Simeon Woods Richardson has been lively. Woods Richardson has over 4.5 strikeouts in 4 of the last 5 games. Impressive. You're going up against Cleveland, who is 9th in strikeouts at 7.6 a game. Not a chance. I only take strikeouts against bottom 10 strikeouts games. Sorry, that's what I do. So, yeah, not a chance I would do this. So, so far, I don't like this game. Let's open this up and see what we have cooking. Lively versus Minnesota history. That's it. Nothing. I figured there'd be more, but hey, whatever. Against righties, you can see Minnesota's doing pretty well this season. They like them some righties. Even the .095s are doing better. Man, I hate to see what you are versus lefties. Probably not good at all. And yeah, Let's go to Cleveland versus righties. Cleveland has some decent hitters as well. Against Wood Richardson, we don't have much data for anybody. Nope, 0 for 8. Oof. All right, so, and we only have one prop. It's just strikeouts, and I can't do much with that. Let me show you the bats. Maybe there's something there for the bats. Let's take a quick peek. Not much at all. All we have is Brooks Lee hit because I'm not taking the 60%. That's only 3 out of 5. So for me, this game is absolutely a pass. Next. All right, now we got Milwaukee and the White Sox. And let's come over and look at it. It is Milwaukee on the road, 175. 8.5 is our total. Look at the spreadsheet, and we can see, yeah, Milwaukee's doing better overall than White Sox. Obviously, that's not a surprise to anybody, I'm sure. Chicago's not that good at strikeouts, so if we have a strikeout pitcher, we could take that. Let's see who we have pitching today. Today we have Chad Patrick and Sean Burke. Neither one is a strikeout dude. When your number's only 4.5 and you still can't hit that, you ain't a strikeout dude. So, yeah, not feeling it already. Well, yeah. What's the weather in this one? This one is, yeah, potential rain. 17 miles an hour to left field pole, but it's going to be raining. That's crazy, man. All right, matchups. Let's look a little closer. Sean Burke's never faced Milwaukee. Milwaukee versus righties. You can see how they do. You can see it closely if you look at those. We go to Chicago versus righties. You can see how they do overall. It's not miserable, but there are some bright spots there. Against Chad Patrick, again, nothing. So both pitchers have never faced these teams. Both teams, Milwaukee has a lean for being better with the bats. Chicago's at home, so I guess that's a lean. The weather is the main star here because, yeah, look at this nonsense on the screen. 17 miles an hour blowing out with all this. Nah, I don't want no piece of this. Pass. Next. All right, moving on. A's and Rangers, and currently we have it as Texas 154 with an 8.5 total. Look at the sheet. We see a lot of even. A lot of even. That's all. What you don't want to see that. You want to see a decisive advantage. So far, that ain't here. So neither one gets the advantage for batting. Both garbage at strikeouts, though. So if you have strikeout pitchers, maybe. Texas has the home field. That's the only thing they get. They get a check mark there. So let's pop over to the props. Who's pitching? Jeffrey Springs versus Tyler Malley, however you say his name, Tyler. He's pitching. His numbers are garbage. Those aren't good numbers for anything here. So over earned runs, no, yeah, that's great for him as a pitcher, but no, for overs, no, we ain't taking that. Hits allowed, he's been shutting teams down. That's what it looks like here. He doesn't get outs, no. What we need to see is Jeffrey Springs. Why can't he throw a pitch right? Because 100%, 80% walks. Now, A's are only 24th at 2.7, but man, we'll see how bad he actually is. Springs earned runs, we'll look at both. Let's see. Dude has control issues. Look at 2, 4, 3, 2, 4. Man. Yeah, that's all this season. Yeah, he's averaging 2.67. And yeah, that's what the A's are doing this season themselves. 2.4, 2.7. Huh. Earned runs. How are you doing here? You are not good. What is this nonsense? What is this? All right, Texas is average overall. They're at home and you're facing him, and he's doing this. I almost want to take this. Let's look at the history they have versus him. Maybe that'll tell us a story. Tyler versus the A's here. Good average in 13 at bats, but nothing really to show for it. 1 for 3 against righties. How are the A's doing? They have a 278, 326, and that's about it, really. Let's look at Texas side. You have success against Springs, right? I'm assuming you do. Against lefties, 381, 304. 308, 308. So they have some hitters against lefties. Against Springs, historically, 462 with 3 home runs and 13 at bats with a 1.6 for Marcus. See, that's the stuff I want to see right there. That's what we do this for. We look for those plays. Like, we can go ahead and pop over and just straight up go over, look for this game. Let's go find Marcus's line. Let's see what we got over here. We might be able to take that too. There you are, Mr. Simeon. Thank you. We want your HRR. And you have been, you were the worst of the 3. Like, the other 2 were, like, Reynolds was great. Nolan was he was scared. He was a little hit and miss, but this one is like wasteland. But he's starting to warm up. You can see it. He's like, he broke his 3-game slump, and he's starting to get in a little bit of like a stock market vibe going on. So we could take this, or we could just take the whole damn team, because 115 team is at 150. I'm fine with either one. Let's see. Yeah, we could take the whole damn team. And I think I just might do that because, yeah. Because Springs has not been good this year, and then we have some success against him. Yeah, let's just straight up take Texas on the money line. We'll do that. So we'll take why did I say that? Texas money line. Springs are over. Yeah, there's so many things you could take here. If you don't want to take the Texas money line, like I'm gonna do, You could take Springs over earned runs. You could take Marcus on a prop. There's plenty of options in this way. Either way, I think Texas wins the game, and I think Springs gives up at least 3 runs based on how he's been the last 5 games. Because I don't see how Texas is at least average. If they were garbage, I'd leave it alone, but Texas is doing decent. He's either that yellow's good, that's average. So we'll take the Texas money line next. All right, Washington, Philadelphia. We got Philly 178 with a 9.5 total. Spreadsheet looks like a slight lean to Philadelphia, barely. Nothing too crazy. Washington, ooh, they're even striking out some. So yeah, there's more green for Philadelphia, but Washington has a little bit more red, but a lot of yellow between both. So I'll say a slight lean Philly for the bats. Obviously a lean for Philly at home. A winning streak for Philly because teams are very streaky. You tend to ride the streak in baseball. So if a team gets on like a 5, 6, 7 game winning streak, you keep riding until it loses. Baseball, with the losing, you same situation. So yeah, okay. Let's go look at props. Who's pitching? It's going to be Walker versus Brad Lord, who has like no data. Why does Brad Lord have 0 data? Has he not pitched this year? Like what's like? No, he's pitched. How many innings are you pitching? You're still pitching. Why are you not getting any registered any things? Because you're not pitching full starts or something? I don't know. Weird. How are you doing? Oh, not the best. 4, 5 strikeouts against Colorado. That's not impressive, good sir. Walker history versus Washington. You can see he has shut them down pretty much. Even Bell has a 231 and 13 at bats. Yeah, 1 homer is fine, but only a 0.795. That ain't good. Against righties, you can see 300, a lot of ones. No. Philly versus righties. How's Philly doing? 368, 325. Yeah, Philly's got some heavy hitters. We know that. Against Brad Lord, 1 for 1 for Sosa. Cool. Phillies should be all right. Let's Walker. Anything for Walker? Walker over 3.5 strikeouts against Washington. I know Washington's 16th right now at 8.1, but I'm not touching that. I'm not taking a strikeout dude. A strikeout prop for a dude who's not a strikeout pitcher. He's just not. So. Yeah, Philly money line would be the play I would go with. They're 178. Ooh. They're at home though. I'm gonna rock with it. We're gonna go Philly at home. I don't trust Brad Lord. Sorry. So we're gonna take Philly money line at home next. All right, Boston and Toronto's up next with a pick 'em with an 8.5. Cool. Spreadsheet leans Boston heavily. Boston is crushing in the first inning. Look at these numbers. Last 10 games, they're averaging 1.3 runs in the first inning only. They're averaging that. They've hit the Yerfy 70% of the time. 7 out of 10 games, they have scored a run in the first inning in the last 10 games. What is Boston on? They are cooking. Okay, so definitely in Boston for the bats. Toronto has a lean for being at home. The home team always gets a little bit of a nod just because it's the home team. Travel, what have you, you know. So let's look at the pitchers and see what we have going on over here. Props. We have Berrios versus Tanner Houck. Both dudes do not have good control. That's the first thing I'm seeing. Neither one really looks good for strikeouts. Neither team strikes out much. So let's look at the walks for both of them. Because we look over here, we see Toronto's 19th in walks, but Boston's 3rd. So yeah, Berrios might be putting people on base, and then they might be scoring quickly. So let's look. We want Berrios walks. That's who we really want the most. So I don't really care about the other one. Go away. Berrios walks. How are you doing? You're averaging 2.2. 2025, you're averaging 2.5. You have given up at least 2 walks in 5 out of your 6 starts. The only one you had one was Baltimore. Yeah. Boston, you gave up 3 here. How'd you do in your Boston game? How was that earned run? You only gave up 1 earned run, though. And you only struck out 2. So I'm not worried about strikeouts. It's the walks I want. 125 for 2 walks against a team averaging 4.5 walks per game in the last 10 games. That's an average, which means there's been more than 4, there's been less than 4, but that's the average. That's good stuff. Yeah, I like Berrios walks. That's what I'm taking. Next. And look, I know some of you are going to be like, well, my book doesn't have walks. They don't offer that. I know some books don't do it. What that tells me is if you're using FanDuel or DraftKings, they don't offer something, you have the access to other books because you're in one of those states that has FanDuel or DraftKings. You have multiple options. You should be using as many books as possible, really. That way you have the options for line shopping. You got to maximize your value. And if you're tied yourself to one book, because when you have all these options, that's on you, boo-boo. That's on you. I have many books and I'm locked to one in the States, but I have other options, if you know what I'm saying. So, but yeah, use many books. Find the best line, use it there. So walks ain't gonna be in every book. I'm gonna tell you right now, but go find it. It's out there, trust me. So moving on, next game, Detroit and the LA Angels, and currently we have it as Detroit's slight favorite with an 8 total. Let's go to the spreadsheet. Angels back to being garbage. Well, actually, they're still being garbage. They're 188. They're doing slightly. Remember, they were 178 yesterday. Now they went up a tenth of a point. Golf clap for them, bros. That's right. That's right. They're doing better. Hey, they ain't nowhere to go but up, right? Exactly. Detroit, average, but they still get the nod because how bad LA is on the bats. So LA's at home. Sucks for those fans right now, but they're at home. Detroit gets the advantage with the bats. Let's go look at some props with some pitches, shall we? And we want the Tigers Angels game. And what do we see? It's Kikuchi versus Casey Mize. Mize has been over on the outs. 16 and a half, he's been over 4 out of 5 times. And then Kikuchi outs and strikeouts has hit in the last 10 pretty good heavily. So let's look at both of those. Outs and strikeouts. Kikuchi strikeouts. So how is Detroit doing on strikeouts? 22nd. So we might have us a strikeout play. First one today. Exciting times. If you're striking out 8.5 and 10.2 on the road, that tells me you struggle a good bit. So yeah, we might be taking Kikuchi here. So let's go back to props. Let's take a look, shall we? Outs. Ooh. Yeah, you got a little rocked in this one. So let's go 2025. I don't know if I can trust guys who've been rocked last game. Sometimes they come back like it wasn't nothing. But yeah, you had 0 strikeouts. I get it. 6. Your number's 5.5, and you haven't gone over 6 all season. I don't like that. I want some cushion. I want somebody to get like, if your number's 5.5 and you're facing somebody like Detroit, I want to see like 8, 9 a couple times, not just barely hit. I can't take that. No, I can't do outs because you clearly got rocked last game. Casey Mize is all over the damn place. What is this? Like, we don't know if you're going to pitch 4 innings or 7. I can't do that either, man. All right, Kikuchi versus Detroit history. We got a 357 and 28 at bats with Torres with 1 home run with a 9.36. Torkelson has 2 for 2 with a home run, 4 OPS, and Bangas is 400. So the ones that have played him have success. That's not good. Against lefties, how do you do? 318, 393 for McKinstry. McKinstry's cooking, isn't he? All right. That makes me almost want to look at like his batting prop just for his season. Let's do that. Let's go do that. We want, bring us down to the Angels, Tigers. And we want Zach, who's the very first one at 100. See, this is what we want to see. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Over half. Wait, what? Only half? Let's outline that bad boy to 1.5. Thank you. Plus 115. Yes, sir. That's the way you do it. How about him just get a hit? 135. I like that. Just give me a hit. You've had a hit in all these straight games. That's my play. Why would I take anything else? I'm taking McKinstry. We're done with this. Next. Last game, Rockies and Giants. Giants 235 at home, 7.5. The Rockies beat the Braves yesterday. Remember that. And it wasn't because the Rockies did amazing. It's because the Braves sucked so bad, they fell way below their average. Like, the Braves were up here, the Rockies were here. The Braves sucked so bad they came down to here. The Rockies stayed their consistent sucky self, but the Braves were just that bad. So people are going to say, "Oh, the Rockies won a game, yeah." Look, like winning streak, woo! Celebrate 5 and 25, baby. Pop the champagne bottles. Man, this is screaming Nerfy, isn't it? Look at all the red versus the green. That's what this is, an ideal Nerfy if we have decent pitchers. That's the caveat. We need decent pitching because these offenses suck. I'm just going to tell you right now, keep it a buck. They suck. Let's go over here to the props. Who we got? Verlander and Freeland. Oh, man, look at that. Over earned runs, both greens. This will be, if we take a Nerfy here, you know how sweaty this damn Nerfy is going to be? It is going to be sweaty, and especially with the weather on top of it blowing straight out to left center. Ooh, you can already see a leadoff home run happening, can't you? You can see it. I can see it too. Brother, oh man, let's see. I don't, I can't take the overs of these because of how bad the offenses are. I can't take the hits because of how bad the hits are, the batting averages. I can't take walks because Colorado actually doesn't walk that much. They're only 2.9 walks, so I can't take that. So I could take a Nerfy, but it's a little sweaty. Let's look at the matchup in the history. Colorado versus Verlander, that's all. Verlander's been pitching since like 1982, and that's all we have for pitches. Okay, whatever. Against righties, Colorado doesn't have much data. Obviously, there's no 300 dudes on here. There's a 500 dude, but it's 1 for 2 because he don't play. Other than that, nah. Let's go lefties for San Fran. 351 for Lee. Lee's been like crazy good this year. So crazy good. 300, 304, 333. I didn't realize those others 300s. Yeah, San Fran has the advantage against lefties, it looks like. Against Freeland history. Oh, buddy. Okay, 333. 0 for 13. This is a roller coaster ride we're about to go through. 0 for 13, 1 for 8, 3 for 5 with 2 home runs. When Fitzgerald gets a hold of one, it's gone against him for 216. Flores is 270 with a bunch of at-bats, but only a 777. 0 for 4, but then 333, then a 444 and 18 at-bats with a 1.2 OPS. That is a wild history against everybody. So there is a lot of things happening here. Where are the bats? Let me just top it off with the bats here and see what we got. Anything cooking out here? Mainly Rocky players. Weird. I'm not touching any of that. So the only thing I would even entertain is going to be a Nerfy. But as you saw and I saw, both pitchers have hit their over-earned runs too much to really do it. If you want to take a Nerfy, hey, good luck. I'm not touching it. I'm going to pass on this one, and we're going to end the video right here. So back to the schedule. Tomorrow is Friday, and we have all these games. I'll be back tomorrow. Drop a like, subscribe if you haven't. If you like what I'm doing, I appreciate that. Helps the channel grow. We're growing quickly. We're trying to get to 20K. So go check out the HQ if you want the plays typed out in a nice list. Or if you want access to the spreadsheet so you can do your own research for every sport I do, go check it out. Other than that, let me know in the comments what you're playing today, and I'll see you tomorrow on Friday for some more MLB. Peace.